So Paul Manafort, a white-collar criminal, is being sent to Rikers Island. Good afternoon. This is Pastor Marty from the Afternoon Drive. This is something that has absolutely sent shockwaves through the judicial system, including from individuals who would normally not be sympathetic to people like Paul Manafort. Even AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she tweeted out that Rikers Island is part of her district, and she can't even believe that Paul Manafort has been sent there, and says that he needs to be released from there. Now, what's stunning about this is that many Democratic defense attorneys are also saying the exact same thing. Now, Rikers Island, a place where the son of Sam was kept, a place where the guy that assassinated John Lennon was held, as well as other violent criminals, you normally wouldn't send a white-collar criminal there. And the fact that Paul Manafort is also in very poor health. He's not a mafia boss. This is another example of the weaponization which began under George W. Bush and was magnified under the Barack Obama administration, the weaponization of our Department of Justice, the weaponization of our intelligence gathering agencies that now are not really interested in going after terrorists or going after individuals that are doing nefarious things as a threat to our national security. No, we're using these institutions, these organizations now to pummel and destroy the lives of individuals that we have political disagreement with. That is Nazism. That is totalitarianism. That is the threat of, if you speak up, you will be dragged out of your house in the cover of darkness by some Gestapo and hauled off to a gulag somewhere. And sending Paul Manafort there, a witness against the president who refused to cooperate with Robert Mueller, and then receiving a sentence of being sent to such an absolutely hellhole on earth like Rikers Island. That's to send a message. That's to send a message to me, to you, to anyone. Stop thinking that we are we the people and that the government is ours. They're telling us the government is theirs. It belongs to the oligarch. It belongs to the deep state. We are merely guests. And that is all we are, according to their way of thinking. And they don't want any of us to think that we can just thumb our noses up at their inquisitions and refuse to answer questions and dare even invoke our Fifth Amendment privilege. Or they will make incarceration hell on earth, even if your so-called crime, you fail to report all of your income, you fail to detail where all of that income came from a foreign source, you didn't register it properly, you didn't report it properly, you didn't account for it accurately, we are going to send you to maximum security prison where we house killers, terrorists, rapists, pedophiles, and child molesters. Does that seem fair on any level? Of course not. And it's not fair. And it's not supposed to be fair. It's to warn. It's to warn anyone else in any further investigation that the demo rats will continue to throw against President Donald J. Trump. Cooperate or else. It's like that Netflix movie, which I talked about yesterday, that's based on the story of the Central Park Five. 5 youths, excuse me, who were accused of a crime they didn't commit. And they were told repeatedly, as they had been detained away from their homes, kept away from their parents, no bathroom breaks, no water, no food, sleep deprivation, 14, 15-year-old boys, children, not adults, denied legal counsel. Look, just tell us what we want to hear and you can go home. And that is exactly what a move like sending Paul Manafort, a white-collar criminal, President Trump needs to pardon him. And I think that the president has been holding off on wanting to do a pardon for Manafort. And that could be another reason why they've sent him to Rikers. I think President Trump felt that what Paul Manafort did really had nothing to do with the Russian collusion hoax and conspiracy, that they just happened to find out and catch him at some things that he did 20 years before he knew Donald Trump, which, by the way, so did the Podesta brothers. Why aren't they in a cell next to him at Rikers Island? See, this stinks so bad that even liberal Democrats like Alan Dershowitz have said, whoa, time out. We got some human rights violations going on here. We've got some absolute just ignoring of the Constitution going on here. We have the trampling of a citizen's rights happening here. So Paul Manafort being sent to Rikers Island. And initially, I do think that Trump may not have pardoned him. He may have thought, you know, what you did on your own time, didn't involve me. If I pardon you, it's going to look like somehow I was involved with that. And, you know, I got enough things I have to deal with this lying media about. These insane lunatics on Capitol Hill that, you know, want to threaten to impeach me over everything. I certainly don't need to be giving the appearance that I'm doing you some kind of a favor. But by throwing him in Rikers Island, maybe this is the DOJ's way of saying, come on, Mr. President, come on. You know this is wrong. You know this is unfair. Gonna pardon him now? Gonna pardon him now? Gonna pardon him now? I mean, could you as the president leave someone like that in a place like that? I mean, serious. Whatever Paul Manafort may have done, is it really any different than what happens in corporate America every single day? Is it really that much worse than the Clintons never really being able to look us in the eye and explain clearly, directly, and honestly how they have made hundreds of millions of dollars? And yet, Paul Manafort is the guy that they use Gestapo-like tactics, kick his door in, go in with a full SWAT team and full riot gear, haul him out of his own house, and then stick him in a place like Rikers Island, to where even liberals like AOC have gone, whoa, hold on here, whoa, this isn't who we are. And on this case, she's 100% right. This is not who we are, but it is who the deep state is. I said it before and I'll say it again. Every one of you Democrats watching this video, you need to thank God every day Donald J. Trump was elected president. See, before Donald Trump was elected president, we had movies like Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman, where we kind of always surmised, had suspicion, wondered, does the government really spy on us? Do they really listen to our phone calls and our emails? Then along comes Ed Snowden. He confirms all that. And along comes Donald Trump to prove that there really is a deep state. And they're not ideological about left versus right. This is not about left versus right. This is about right versus wrong. This isn't about Democrat versus Republican. This is about them versus us. We, the American people. And they don't like us any more than they like President Donald Trump. And how dare this guy think that he can actually serve as the president with an idea like Make America Great Again, skipping all of their globalistic hogwash, thwarting their globalist agenda, which really meant thwarting their power and their money and their livelihood. And in their mind, he got to go. And we got to see just how vile and corrupt the deep state is within the intelligence community and the Department of Justice. Had Hillary Rodham Clinton been elected, she herself as a card-carrying member of this elite gulag, we would never have known any of this. But enemies of Hillary Clinton and people that she didn't like their political views would have spent her entire presidential term being harassed, disappearing, and having never-ending full body cavity searches for anything and everything at the hands of the DOJ. Why? Because they're a weapon of the state, as is our central intelligence agencies. And the enemy they're looking for is not prowling around on foreign soil. It's you, it's me, it's what we got on our cell phones, it's what websites are we visiting, what kind of things we have stored on our computers, what kind of things do we talk about, what kind of things do we think about, and that's coming. That's it. That's my rant for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button. Let's try to drive our algorithms up, because we know YouTube is doing everything they can to drive them down, to hide this channel, to even make all of my videos private, and I have to keep going back and making them public. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you don't do so already, and please smack the bell so that you get notifications of my next rant.